Good morning, beautiful friends. We're just going to go straight into it this morning. This is for the clearing for the stellar gateway chakra. Now, the stellar gateway connects the individual soul in a physical body, and it connects it to the source of light from which they originate, from which we all originate. So normally it's the crown chakra that would do this, but as we progress into 5D, fifth dimensional, the stellar gateway takes over the role. So it transcends all dimensional boundaries of time and space, and it provides us with frequencies that extend way beyond our current physical capacity. It sits about 18 inches or so, what's that, 45 centimeters or so above the head, and connects with Metatron. So let's see if anything comes up for this one. So as always, make sure you're 100% open to receiving healing, and let's see what comes up. So stellar gateway chakra, 0 positive, 100 negative. That's interesting. So we're about light status level, which is quite low down. So I'm just going to ask your high self teams to clear this up to radiant love new paradigm level as a minimum, up to 100 positive, 0 negative. That's how this system works. 100 positive, 0 negative. So although that sounds very dualistic, which it really does, it's just a way of knowing that everything is being brought back into balance in this particular system. So we're just clearing away. It will be very interesting to see what comes up with this chakra. So this is a request, and because it applies to everybody, it's quite a recent request. I thought I'd bring it forward. I hope you're all keeping well. I haven't shown my face because I've just come back from the gym. I'm a sweaty mess. I thought we'd just get straight into it anyway. Right, let's see what comes up with this. Again, this is just a taster. This is a group session and it's a taster, so it's not a full clearing by any means. But it's still has fear. It still has a positive effect on people. Where are we going? Fear and anger are coming up, which is interesting. It's not very fifth dimensional. Abuse, failure. Okay, do they have past life roots? They do. Let's just clear all of those, all levels of consciousness in chart 3. So that was fear, anger, abuse, and failure. There, clearing those away. Clearing from all other ancestral lifetimes, past lifetimes, future lifetimes, past lifetimes, and other dimensions, inside of and outside of time, interdimensional, parallel lifetimes. We think we have a complete understanding in this world with, oh yes, it's that chakra and that chakra. Oh yes, this exists and that exists. And we may channel lots of stuff. At the end of the day, we haven't got a clue until we pass back and see what's really going on, because our consciousness of where we are limited in this body that we possess is, it's very limited. So we can only understand a fraction of what's going on whilst we're on the earth plane. Okay, so where are we going next? If you want to work with me, all the details are on the side. In the details bit. Dysfunction of spirit by error consciousness. As I say, this is just a taster. Miasma of spirit. So we just sort of dip our toe in the water really with this one. So let's clear all miasma of spirit and dysfunction of spirit by error consciousness. So I'll just read you what it says about miasm spirit. Can't say it this morning. Each soul before incarnating was created as a spiritual being, complete, perfect, eternal, wise, intelligent, and indestructible. The potential for imperfection, miasm, was necessary, or there could never be an extension of that spirit being into materiality. It could forever remain within the body of spirit, only a clone of God, nothing more. Okay. '17, which is my favourite chart, as some of you will know, which is soul level, anything on the inside. We have issues that are coming up at Lord of Lords level, so it's the first expression of the living soul. Feels like there's more inside. No, outside. Blocks the creative force. Abdication of mental responsibility. Unwillingness to learn. This is all at Lord of Lords soul level. So let's clear all of those away from everybody. The abdication of mental responsibility. I mean, this comes up quite a lot with people. So I'll just read you what it says in the book. Again, this is all Robert E. Detzler's system and his books, Soul, Recreation and the Freedom Path. Robert E. Detzler. So abdication, there are 4 forms of abdication on this chart. Their physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual responsibility. So many people do not realize that they are responsible for their complete expression. I think most of you will, won't you? What they think and feel is vital to a balanced, healthy expression of life. An abuse of the physical body can cause problems, and proper diet and exercise are vital to a healthy, strong body, which we all know. Neither can a person ignore spiritual growth and still be whole and complete. That's the thing with all these things. You cannot, when people do healing on one of the bodies, it affects all of the bodies. So there's no separation with any of the bodies. That's always important to remember. We're clearing the Messiah complex as well, which is coming up. So it's important to recognize. So if you have someone, this is why we should always treat the person, not the disease, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So instead of just treating the body, we'll just treat the body with this. We have to look at the causes, the root causes, the diet, the lifestyle, the mental, whereabouts are you mentally, whereabouts are you spiritually. You know, it's a whole process, healing. It's not just a small process, which I'm sure you all know that anyway. We treat the person, we don't treat the disease. Diseases are just symptoms that someone at some stage has classified into a group and decided to call it a name. And I think it's important to remind ourselves of that instead of identifying with, oh, I've got this or I've got that, it's important to remember, you know, that maybe we have the same symptoms, and maybe someone has diagnosed us with something, but it's the symptoms, it's a classification, which, you know, we're a whole person. We need to look at every aspect of our lives. You know, what are the symptoms? What is the body trying to tell me? Whereabouts am I mentally, emotionally, as well as physically? What's my spiritual health like? You know, lessons to accomplish before moving on, working with one. We need to clear that and refining consciousness. So we want to work with one so we can move forward on our evolution, our spiritual evolution. Okay, anything else? We go to mop up. So although these are really short, most of my clearings, personal clearings, they can go anywhere between, take anywhere between an hour and 2 hours, my personal clearings, each one. One lasted 2 3/4 hours the other day. Honestly, it's been years since that's happened, and I work quite quickly anyway, but there was a ton of stuff that came up, and because, you know, I ask a lot of questions as well. So so I go into quite a lot of detail for stuff. You get a detailed report afterwards. Not a lot of it will make sense, to be fair, but I do type up a report after. So this is just really a short taster, and not very much came out today. The mop-up process is where the bulk of the clearing is done by your teams on the other side of life. So they have about 200 plus charts. I have about 30 something, 32 I think it is charts, maybe a few more than that. I have some extra charts which I do my personal clearings with as well, and go through those as well, to see if anything's running in those. I have some abundance charts. I check the basic emotion code when I go through my own clearings. I have some other healing charts and things, various other charts as well, which I check. Right, but this is where most of the clearing is done. Anything else? Any other business there? No. So high self teams happy? Yeah. Hold. Yep. Self free. Yeah. Good. Okay. So where are we now with this chakra? 100 positive, 0 negative. That feels good. Good. We're at Radiant Love New Paradigm level. So drink lots of water. Don't do more than 2 of these clearings a day, and I will see you on the next one. Lots of love to you all.